Welcome back to Harmon Homestead. I'm in the kitchen again today, and we are going to do another Prepper Pantry mason jar meal. We are going to do pancake mixes in a jar. I've got 3 different kinds today. So a lot of you will just go and buy pancake mix. That's fine, but you can make it with a few simple pantry staple ingredients that you keep here in your house. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. First things first, you need all-purpose flour. I keep that on hand at all times. You need baking powder, baking soda, sugar, and then for this mix, this is just optional, it's what I like to do, you need some spices that I'll go over while we make these. I am going to do a cinnamon pancake mix, gingerbread pancake mix, and pumpkin pie spice pancake mix. It's super easy, and again, go back and look at our other videos on the Prepper Pantry mason jar meals. I did the dried soup mixes. Guys, that was a hit. And so I'm going to show you again how to do something else. I'm going to try to keep these up, but it's really hard to try to think of ideas. So I'm trying to get creative and show you something totally unique that you can put on the shelf. That way you can just grab and go. Give as a gift. Give as a gift to a friend, family, anything like that. It's easy and on the shelf. And it's good because it gets you in the kitchen cooking. You know what you're doing. You're more sustainable. And you're using just a few ingredients on the shelf. So I'm going to bring you over here and show you our very first one, our cinnamon pancake mix. Y'all, so first things first, I have 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar in a sifter here. I'm going to sift all this together. You don't have to. You can just use a wooden spoon to stir it up. I am going to use 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Each recipe I'm doing is for 1 quart mason jar. You can adjust this to however you see fit. And you can get multiple pancakes and uses out of each jar. Alright, so I'm going to take my sifter and we're just going to sift. Actually, y'all, you could get away without sifting this. You could just mix it all together, and I think that's what I'm going to do the next few rounds. Okay, next, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of baking powder. And 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So we had 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 4 cups of all-purpose flour. That's it. That's your standard pancake mix. Now, let's stir it up. Okay, and I am going to make the cinnamon pancake mix, so I'm using ground cinnamon. Do this to taste. I want these pretty cinnamony. I love cinnamon. And just stir it in. Now, as far as this, the flavor possibilities are endless for the pancake mix. Any kind of spice, that way you know that it will be shelf stable. Now, a lot of people want to add dried fruit to this and all, that's fine, but I'm thinking with the spice, everything will be better on the shelf and more stable this way. Some people will add chocolate. You could do that at the end, or you could attach a little baggie on this if you're giving a gift with chocolate in it or anything else like dried fruit. But as far as your actual pancake mix, I would just go with the spice. Now, you could also do apple pie spice. There's all sorts of things. But for the cinnamon, we did that. I can smell it, but it's still not where I want it, so I'm going to add a little bit more. And so all you need, if you have any kind of emergency with these, you need heat to cook these, and then you need milk and eggs. For the whole quart mason jar, that's going to make a lot of pancakes. I'm going to say probably 20 to 25 pancakes. I would do this in thirds and use 1 or 2 eggs, a cup of milk, and a third of this. That's what I would do out of the jar. But you can do this to taste. Again, this is just how much flour. If you like your pancake batter more runny, you could add more milk. All you need, milk and eggs. But again, don't use the whole jar at once. I would try it out. Make sure you like it. And you're going to get probably 6 to 10 pancakes out of a third of that jar. Probably 10 nice sized pancakes. So I would start with that. And you could sift this again. There's really no need, guys. All right, so now we have beautiful cinnamon pancake mix. Now I've got a funnel here just to make this easier because I've already made a mess all over my table. And I am going to take this and we're going to put it down in the mason jar. I tell you to keep your lids, all old used lids for your dehydrated foods or your pantry meals. Shake this as you go down. You don't want a bunch of air in there. Just like you're canning and getting the air out. All right, so the mix that I got a quart and about half of a pint. I just stuck it in here so I could use it tonight. That's, guys, you don't have to do that. If you had extra, you could add more flour to your mixture, okay? A lot of it's the way I packed it. A lot of the way it's just how it is. So if you've got spare like that, you do want it to the fill line. If you are going to store this long term, I would recommend getting my mix higher to the fill line. So there you go, cinnamon pancake mix. Now, let's make gingerbread pancake mix. We're going to need 4 cups of flour. Again, you can adjust this. So for that one, I'm just going to use 3 cups because that's what I've got. And that's what we're going to do. And I don't want to open up the other bag. So let's do 3 cups. That way I don't have any extra. So 3 cups. And let's do the rest the exact same. 3 tablespoons of sugar. 3 tablespoons of baking powder. Again, it's okay that I went a little bit lower on the flour, guys. It's fine. And remember, when you make this, you're going to need about a cup of milk, an egg or 2 for about a third of the recipe. And 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of stir that in. Beautiful DIY pancake mix. Beautiful. Now for gingerbread. I'm going to keep stirring this, okay? I want to use ground ginger. We're eyeballing it, guys. But remember, ginger don't need to go as heavy as that cinnamon, okay? Just kind of a little bit. Remember, it's going to be in multiple batches, though. That's perfect. Cinnamon. I like cinnamon in my gingerbread. That's just me. Save your spice bottles. You can take the label off and use this for your own dehydrated herbs, or use it for buttons, or use it for anything. This is how you save money. Now, I'm going to use a little nutmeg. And by the way, this little jar cost $5 at Walmart last week. I couldn't get over it. I'm just going to throw a little bit of nutmeg in here. I'm going to tell you something else. If you really wanted to, you could actually use eggnog and nutmeg in this. Eggnog with your milk. Pour a little eggnog in there and have eggnog pancakes with nutmeg. You can even add rum extract. It tastes like pure eggnog. I know because I was using it to make eggnog macarons this past week, and that's what we used. Now, last but not least, a little ground allspice. Just a little bit. It smells like gingerbread. If you wanted to up the sugar content, you could. If you wanted to lower it, that's fine too. You really don't have to have the sugar in here. I just kind of do like that if you don't want to have your sifter. Just to mix everything up. Scoop it up. That's it. All right, we're going to put a lid on it. That's our gingerbread pancake mix. All right, last but not least, I'm opening up another bag of flour. I'm only going to do 3 cups this time because I only want to fill up 1 more quart mason jar. In our mix, we are going to do pumpkin pie spice pancakes. Now, I am using pumpkin pie spice. I've got fall spices here. I've showed you those. You can adjust this any way you so choose, okay? You can get any spice off the shelf. There's tons of great spices. If you have dehydrated herbs you would like to add, if you want more savory pancakes, you could skip the sugar and you could definitely add those just to your liking. You also could add cocoa powder. I would say that that probably wouldn't be as shelf stable as plain spice. If I can get in the sack, we'll go for it. Okay, 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And this is why I keep this out of the camera. This is our sugar sack. This is left over from when I was canning muscadine jam. So I've had it open and I use it every day in the kitchen, so I've not put it on the shelf. Like, it's almost out, but that's how you buy in bulk. And it's cheaper buying that way than buying small sacks of stuff most of the time. So always, always, always check. You can tell this stuff's like easy peasy, and that's why I'm trying to get y'all to see, like, hey, you can do this stuff. And it's so easy to have a meal on the shelf. And if you keep stuff like eggs, milk, baking soda, baking powder, you can create just about anything in your kitchen. You definitely can most baked goods. Okay, so I did 3 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And now, last but not least, I'm going to add pumpkin pie spice. Smells great. Pretty heavy on this. You can tell by smell whether it's strong enough or not, whether you like that much spice or not. Or this is going to be multiple batches unless you're going to make a lot of pancakes at once. And especially if you make small pancakes, this is going to take a lot. So add milk and egg. That's it. So that's our pumpkin. That's that. So we're done with that. Okay, lid, ring, that's it. And I am going to write on this what it is. Alright guys, so as you can see here, we've got our mixes. That was with the 4 cups of flour, and then these were 3 cups each. Cinnamon pancake mix, gingerbread pancake mix, and pumpkin pie pancake mix. The sky is the limit. You could make any combination you would like, okay? Super easy, egg and milk. And if you're giving this to somebody as a gift, write that on there. Let them know, put a tag on top, or just tell them. Some little handwritten instructions. Put it around here with some twine, hole punch it, and they've got a cute little gift tag with the instructions on what to do. Shelf stable. Again, you could vacuum seal this with a little hand pump to seal your mason jars. You could put this in Mylar bags. You could put this in Ziploc bags, okay? Any way to just have it, especially if you're going to use it short term, you could do Ziploc bags. More shelf stable, Mylar, mason jars that are vacuum sealed. I don't know exactly how long it would last. I definitely see us using this within the next year to 2 years. Probably would last longer, much longer if it was vacuum sealed, okay? So that's easy and cheap, cheap, cheap. And you can feed your family, especially if you've got chickens, you've got eggs constantly like we do. Guys, it's cheap, cheap, cheap. The most expensive thing would be the milk, okay? So there's that in the spice, especially, but I tell y'all over and over, the beautiful thing to having a prepper pantry and cooking at home and homesteading, having a good spice rack. You can change a meal like that with a different flavor, okay? Flavor it different. It will be more palatable, okay? So, guys, that's it. There's nothing to it. Get creative. Help me think of some ideas or some things you would like to see me do in these prepper meal jars and prepper meals. But I'm just trying to be very creative and get you guys inspired. It is the week of Christmas, so you definitely could give these as cheap Christmas gifts. All right, guys, this is Harmon Homestead. We'll see you guys next time.